A developing story for you out of Moorhead. Police there say 2 people have been arrested after they allegedly transported illegal drugs from Minneapolis into Moorhead.
The 2 men up on your screen were both arrested on felony drug charges. Police say in June they received information the 2 were taking the drugs. This past Sunday, the 2 were pulled over in a vehicle coming into Moorhead.
During that stop, police say they collected 458 grams of meth, 46 grams of cocaine, 100 grams of marijuana, and 12 morphine pills, all totaling a street value of $15,000.
Police say one of those men had a past federal conviction for drug distribution in Minnesota, with the gang identified as Taliban Young Thuggin.
New for you this morning, 1 man dead after a fire ripped through his house Monday night. This is in Roseau County. Deputies say they were called around 6:30 that night after the fire was reported.
Smoke damage could be seen inside of that home, and that man's name has not yet been released, nor the cause of the fire.
We're following developing news for you out of rural Cass County. Deputies say 1 person has life-threatening injuries after they were electrocuted yesterday afternoon after digging into a buried live power line.
This happened around 2 near Argusville. Deputies say the person is listed as critical in an area hospital. Deputies also say the company working the site thought the line was inactive at the time. 1 person is dead and another hurt after a train crash northwest of New Rockford. This happening Monday at the intersection of 64th Avenue and 20th Street Northeast in Eddy County.
Officials say a BNSF service vehicle working on the tracks was hit by a BNSF train. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. The passenger was taken to a Carrington hospital for treatment.
New information on a fatal crash we told you about earlier this week in Barnes County. This happening along State Highway 1 and Barnes County Road 22. A semi-driver was hauling soybeans when an SUV trying to cross was hit.
The passenger in the SUV, 46-year-old Sarah Leak of Valley City, was killed. The driver, a 15-year-old girl, taken to an area hospital with life-threatening injuries, as was the semi-driver.
5 children were flown to a Twin Cities burn unit after an explosion near Bagley this week. Now a GoFundMe has been set up for the family and the 5 brothers who are between 6 and 14 years old.
A family member says the boys were in critical condition and had to be airlifted to a burn unit. They are now stable, but the burns range from 5 to 55% of their bodies.
First responders were called to a storage unit on Monday around 12:30 for an explosion and fire.
They believe a propane tank had been leaking, and then the explosion happened after a cigarette was lit. 1 man was also hurt. No word on his condition.